Hello YouTube. This week I've got the keys to a 2018 Hyundai Ioniq PHEV plug-in hybrid electric vehicle. Let's take a look. So first thing, I just want to thank you for watching and please subscribe to my channel. It does matter. We need to monetize now. You need 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, so it'd be really appreciated if you do subscribe and you enjoy this video. Please like it. What we have here is the Hyundai Ioniq. I have a video of the pure electric version. This is the plug-in hybrid electric vehicle. So this one here is basically, it's a hybrid that allows you to get about 25-30 kilometers of just electric if you plug it in. So you've got the plug-in port here, your charge port right here. So that's your regular charge port, and you can plug it in 120 volt or 240. On your 120, it's going to take about 8 hours to charge, and it'll only take about 2.5 hours to charge from empty on the 240. And then that's your regular gas port as well. So it's it's a nice color. This blue. I believe the electric one that I had a few months ago was just gray, so it was kind of boring. This one is loaded. This is the full Jam model. It's 36,500 Canadian. Depending on what province you live in Canada, you're going to get a rebate on this car. In Ontario, where I am, you're going to get about $8,000, a little bit more than $8,000 off, and that's going to bring it down to about $26,000. So that's not too bad. It is a hatchback. So you've got quite a bit of space in the trunk here with this. You got a tonneau cover, a cargo cover here for everything. It comes, I think it might be an accessory, but anyways, my tester came with this net to hold stuff down, and you got a little bit of space for some more things underneath here. The seats do fold down, 60/40. So I'm just gonna flip that down. You're gonna see this is to hold the 120 volt charger. So there's quite a bit of space there. And we'll go along the other side and take a look on the inside. So as you can see here, it's compact car size. Just gonna hop in, fold this seat up. Pretty easy to use. Get into the back seat here. The seats are kind of sculpted out, so not too bad. Legroom's actually pretty good. This is back where I sit. It could come back quite a bit more. And this is all kind of leather seating, and there is heated seats for the outboard seats in the back. A little map pocket on this one. And of course you got the sunroof up front here. And you can see it's kind of a nice looking interior. It's got blue accents, kind of remind you that it's a hybrid. Not that you're going to forget if you're driving it. It's actually a good looking car on the inside. Okay, so up front here, I've got the car running. It's in electric mode, so there's a button down here, and it's got EV or hybrid EV. So the hybrid mode is, just drives like a regular hybrid. Gas goes on and off as needed. EV is pure electric mode. It won't let you do that if it's too darn cold until the engine heats up, and then it'll let you do the EV. It's got heated seats and a heated steering wheel, which is beautiful because, of course, if you're trying to save some electricity and not run the engine and save some gas, this really keeps you warm. The heated seats in here are probably the hottest I've ever tried. Like on 3, it's like a minute or two from frozen seats to burning seats, so then I always set it back to 1. Also down here you've got a couple 12 volt charger ports, your USB port for your phone, auxiliary, and a QI charger. And I've got a phone that supports QI, so if you just toss that on there, the light turns on and the phone starts charging. So that's actually very useful. I was using it for some maps, and it's just sitting there, and it works really well. Now, talking about maps, this car also has navigation built into it. So you could just use that, but I'd rather Google Maps, honestly. And it also has phone projection, so it's got Apple CarPlay and Android Auto as well. So you have all the options. You can use the nav, you can use your phone, you can use your phone down here. You can plug your phone in USB, and you can get the phone projection, and you can have your Android Auto or Apple CarPlay on there as well. So you have all those different options. You've got another USB port down here, USB charging port, and some more space. You've got all in here. You've got your radio, and you got XM radio and that, and you can program this button. This is interesting. I don't think I've seen it on another car. This stars your favorites or whatever. You can program that button to be whatever you want. I've programmed it now to be the EV information, and it'll show you my EV range. And this is showing me I've got 24 kilometer range, and the closest charging station is 27 kilometers away. That's kind of funny. But it's okay because I've got gas too, so not a big deal. We'll throw this onto EV, and you'll see here it shows you your battery. And if you go to battery information, it'll say here I'm 95% charged. If I plugged into 240, it would take 9 minutes. If I plugged into 120, it would take 25 minutes to charge it. I've got 24 kilometers left, and 722 on fuel, leaving me 746 kilometer range. And I do not have a full tank, so when it was full, it was like 850 range. I'm not sure if you'll get 850, but probably pretty close. When I picked it up, it had a 500 kilometer range, and I easily made 500 kilometers, so probably pretty good. Super impressed with the fuel economy on this. I've averaged 3.8 right now. It says it was 3.7 earlier. And I've seen it as low as 2.2. So far I've driven 645 kilometers since I picked it up, and it's always been in that 3-point-something range. And you can see here, there's a bunch of different menus you can go through, and you can go into, you've got your energy flow, which will show you when you're driving, engine temperature, your range, your averages, your trip meters, and you can put a digital speedo there too, and it also shows you this driving style, so how economical you've been driving, normal, aggressive, or economically, and so it shows you all those things. On the left hand side of the dash here, you've got your power and charge. So instead of attack, the electric cars and the hybrids typically do this. They'll show you when it's charging, when you're eco driving, and when you're on the power. So if you stay in the eco range and you put it in EV mode, it'll stay on the electric mode only. And as soon as you hit into power, the engine will kind of kick on. You got your speedometer in the middle. In this one's, we're in Canada, so it's in kilometers an hour, and then it shows a little digital miles per hour underneath in case you cross the border. It does have, of course, heat, and it has this setting to save gas and electricity, I guess, is driver only, so it only heats the left side of the cabin in the front, and it is automatic climate control, and you can sync the both sides, and you get both sides up. And if you leave it on driver only, it'll be a little bit colder on the other side. So it has all that. It's all full leather. All the seats are leather. The steering wheel's leather. It feels really nice. It's got paddle shifts here to put you in sport mode. So yeah, it doesn't move. It doesn't work unless you're moving. Let me just see if it works in drive. No. So you have to be moving, and it'll go into sport mode. I'm going to throw it in reverse for a second, and check out that camera with the moving lines on it. The camera is super wide angle, so you can really see where you're going. And I've kind of got into this bad habit of not looking around anymore because the camera is so wide. I kind of look in my side mirrors and then look in the camera. But they do work so well now. It also has cross traffic alert. So if you're backing up and there's a car coming from either side, it'll beep and show you the arrow where it's coming from. It's amazing in parking lots. Amazing if you're backing out from a driveway on a busy street. It really is nice. It'll see if there's cars coming or people coming, and it'll warn you. So it is really nice. So it's got a ton of stuff. It's got blind spot detection, which seems to turn off every time I turn the car off. I'm not sure what's up with that. It's got lane departure. It's got a button for your traction control and your fuel and your electric charging doors. It's got, on the steering wheel, you've got radar cruise, and you've got your phone controls and your voice control to talk to the navigation system as well, volume, modes, and you've got the switches to move all the menus on the in the dash there. And the radar cruise, which I'll show in a bit when we go on the road, radar cruise works great, and as well as the lane departure, lane keep assist, which I actually steer the car for you, even around curves. This is all kind of nice. This is like a fabric, but it's rubber. So I'm not sure. I think it's actually rubber that feels like a fabric. It's actually kind of nice. Nicely textured. It doesn't look cheap. It is quite black in here, even though it's got this blue accents, which are kind of cool. It is kind of black in here, which is maybe a little bit dreary. But this is kind of the thing that most cars are now, or most, at least, regular compact cars, or in this price class, are just kind of plain black plastic like that. So can't really fault it there. You've got your sunroof, which I showed from the back. Just regular sunroof, no panoramic. And you've got a sunglasses holder here. And of course, you've also got your HomeLink, 3 garage doors, and auto dimming mirror. You've got a mirror here and a button to turn on the light so it doesn't flick on automatically. This is a Hyundai thing, and then when you close that, it turns the light off. So that's kind of a Hyundai thing you get used to. Special mention to the headlights on this thing. I drove this thing at night for about 3 hours. Effing amazing. The headlights, LED headlights, so bright. I think the high beams are actually halogens, but it's because when you turn them on, so you got white lights at night, and then when you turn on those halogens, the brights, they go farther away, but they're kind of yellow. So I'm thinking they're halogens. I didn't check the specs. But anyways, they are amazing. I barely needed even in the dark at night, I barely needed the brights on. The LED lights, it just felt so comfortable. My eyes were so comfortable. I could see forever, it seemed like. It was just like turning on daylight. Absolutely amazing. So if you drive a lot at night, this is, there's other cars with the LED lights, but that is something to look for, and this car is amazing in that regard. Power-wise, it's got a 4-cylinder, 1.6-liter engine to mate it with that electric drive. They say it puts out about 164 horsepower, and we'll take it for a drive. You'll see it kind of feels sluggish at first, and I think it's kind of a throttle thing, but it does seem to go whenever you kick it on. So let's do that. Let's go for a drive and see what it's like. All right, so I'm going to get on the highway here, because hopefully there's not too much snow on the ground. I want to show how the radar cruise and lane keep assist work out on this car, because they work really well. It'll follow the curves of the road and everything. You do still have to keep your hands on the wheel, though. Just like even the Tesla, you're supposed to keep your hands on the wheel. So I'm just going to set the cruise, set it here, and I'm going to let go of the wheel. And you can see it's going to start kind of wandering towards the line, but it's centering itself. So no hands, steering wheel, you'll see it's moving a little bit, and the car is centering itself in the lane, and you can kind of see the steering wheel, and there now it beeps at me and tells me that I need to keep my hands on the wheel. So there's a little curve coming up here, so I'm going to let go of the wheel, and you'll see it will follow that curve right around. And I'm just going to touch the wheel a bit just so that it doesn't beep at me. We can follow the next curve. And you can see how it's going to follow that right around perfectly. And it keeps the car centered. It feels weird if you do keep your hands on the wheel, which is kind of funny. Because if you don't keep the car perfectly centered, then it's always wandering the center of the damn thing in the lane. So it kind of feels weird. So it kind of goes over to the edge a bit, and then it'll come back on a curve. So it's not the most smooth thing in the world, but if for some reason you're not paying attention and a curve comes up, it will go around the curve on you. So if the car is in an EV mode, of course the engine's going to be off. It's not making any noise really. But unlike the full electric Ioniq, it doesn't have quite as much pep. The full electric one, you know, it feels like kind of a normal compact car, maybe a little bit quicker because of the torque from the electric motor. But this one in EV mode, it oddly feels like it's shifting, even though usually electric car doesn't shift, and it doesn't have as much power as the pure EV. So, you know, when you put your foot in it, the engine will turn back on. So we're going to turn here. And I'm going to put my foot in it. And it's going to take a bit, and then it goes. And you're kind of getting the help of the electric engine, electric motor, as well as the gas engine going at the same time. And it feels reasonably quick. It just takes a long time for it to get to be reasonably quick. So it's somewhat annoying in that regard. I'm going to drop this. Hopefully it doesn't block the view of the camera too much. Just because there's so much sun going this way. If you switch the paddles, and just, you know, it'll go right into sport mode, and then it's like super peppy. It feels a lot more than 160 horsepower. It really goes quick. And then you know, you can shift yourself, and the shifts are pretty quick to happen as well. There's third gear, a little bit of brake, and we'll go into second gear. Not going slow enough yet. It won't go. There we go. It won't let me go into second. And then there's third. There's fourth. It's pretty good. And if you shift up to sixth gear and kind of let off the gas a little bit and just kind of cruise, it'll go back into normal mode. So it won't stay in that sport mode forever. And now it's back into EV mode. And you can use that button that I showed to switch between hybrid mode. If you don't want to use all your electricity, you can switch into hybrid mode. And now the engine, which will show on here, I'll go into this mode here, and you'll see that the engine is driving the wheels and charging the battery at the same time. And you can also see that in the little screen inside of here as well. Well, there you go. There you have it. That's the 2018 Hyundai Ioniq. At first when I picked this up, I didn't like it. I thought it was very sluggish and kind of boring. And then, you know, it kind of got, I guess it kind of grew on me over the week. Mostly because I got used to the power, I think. And I got really appreciative of the fuel savings. It basically cost me $40 to drive this thing about 800 kilometers now at this point. So that's pretty darn good. Again, $36,000, a little bit pricey, but you do get those rebates. At least in Ontario, get quite a bit of rebate, and makes it somewhat reasonable. Thanks for watching, and please do subscribe to my channel, especially if you watch this far. Come on, it means you want to watch some more of my videos. Again, thanks for watching.